Hi, I'm Josh Farley with Far Out Tiny Homes. Today we'll be discussing how to properly seal around your shipping container windows. Your first steps after purchasing the unit will be to measure your openings, doors and windows in the unit, and then to cut your holes. We recommend an 1/8 inch around the windows and doors. This allows a small gap to shift the frame in and around, as well as a small gap to seal then around, which we'll be discussing here in a moment. Your windows and doors have been reinforced with either 2-inch or 3-inch metal tubing. Your welds are complete, and now it's time to grind rust and prep the unit for paint. So if you need more information on grinding rust and how to get the unit ready for paint, you can click on the video card above, and we'll also put it in the description below. The next step is sealing around our metal windows. What we like to do is take a sponge, warm water, some cleaning solutions, and wipe around the window. This is going to ensure that the sealant that we put on has a good surface to adhere to, and it helps the curing process as well. A good stopping point is when you take your sponge over the surface where the sealant's going to be going and you hardly have any dirt. Don't forget, there's 2 sides of your home. So next we're going to show you the tools needed to properly seal your windows. This is a sausage gun or large industrial sealant applicator. You can get it from Granger Supply or other industrial supplies. It's about $55. We also like to use the 525 polyurethane construction sealant, or 540. They also have a marine grade application. All of these construction sealants are used on things like construction joints, expansion joints, trains, automobiles, and airplanes. Next, we're going to load our sausage gun. So this requires a few things. Make sure you have a rag handy, just in case it gets a little messy, a place to set the gun on to do it comfortably, a trash bag for the debris and stuff that you will be removing. So here we go. You're going to pull your sausage gut down and place the tube in the tube. A razor blade is also something that's going to be extremely handy. Another thing you're going to need is a razor blade. What you're going to want to do is take this metal tab off here. You can either cut an X in the top, or I like to cut off this entire top here around. So I'm going to show you that real quick. Remember, when you're cutting, always cut away from yourself. It'll ensure that you're safe and you don't end up at the beginning of your project with a Band-Aid, because that's always fun. So here's the construction sealant itself. You can see it's very, very tacky. Once we cut this, we have about 30 minutes of application time, and then it is 42 to 72 hours of curing after that. So you'll notice our audio cut out a few times in this video. Basically here I'm discussing the use of the denatured alcohol to clean your tools and hands during and after application. Keep in mind that this product is not to be used on the actual silicone and sealant itself. It does affect the curing process. We're going to take our rag and wipe off our razor blade, because we want to ensure that we can keep this as long as possible. This is going to be your applicator nozzle. We like to cut it at an 1/8 or a 1/4 diameter. So It's about 1/8 down on the tube to 1/4. There are markers on several of these nozzles. So we're gonna cut it at about 1/8. You can still get out of about a 1/4 bead. Sometimes a 1/4 is too much product, and the window cuts that we have done are within 1/8. So 1/8 is appropriate. We're gonna take it anywhere, and we wanna cut it at an angle, and that will allow us to smoothly follow our line and get a good bead going. Close our blade. We're gonna make sure that that tube is sitting all the way down in the applicator. We're gonna take the top ring and we're gonna set our tube there. Place the ring over. Make sure that the plastic nozzle is clipped in all the way and tightened down securely. We like to use a top-down approach when applying the sealant, starting from either the right or left top corner of the window. Your pressure release button is on the back, so when you're stopping and moving to another spot, make sure that you tap this and you'll save more product. So when applying the sealant, we're gonna put about 1/8 to 1/4 inch bead between the metal tubing and the shipping container corrugated steel. Keep in mind, this was the beginning of the sealant. It does get a lot quicker. So after we have a thick bead here, we want to make sure that it is pressed all the way in and through the shipping container. So we take our finger and we lightly drag it across the seal. Periodically, while you're doing this, your gloves will begin to get more and more product on it. What we like to do is we take that decentralized alcohol that we were using previously and we just clean off our gloves a little bit. This will increase the longevity of your gloves themselves and allow you to use them throughout the process of sealing your windows. After we have our top sealed, we work from top down on the sides of our window. When you're ready to press in, make sure your glove is clean. It'll allow less ripples to be visual, and you will notice these in paint, trust me. Also, it's important that when you're pressing down, the pressure is consistent. If you start and stop, you begin to see ripples, and again, this is visually apparent after paint. Now that we have the tops and the sides of the window sealed, we're going to focus on the bottom edge of the window. We're going to get the scaffolding out of the way to make it easier for us to hit the spot. To speed up the drying process and allow us to work efficiently, we like to grab a rag or an old t-shirt and clean off any remaining dust. A lighter color is a surefire way to ensure that you have all of the dust removed. So let's take this rag, dry off the window, and see how we did. Minimal dust, that's a good thing. Now that we've sealed the outside of the window, we're now inside, about to seal the top edge of the inside window. If you have a set of scaffolding or are interested in purchasing it, this set right here is from Lowe's and it was about $250. This will save you gobs of time while installing and doing your work, especially here. It fits in and spins around easily in the unit. It's a standard dimension, 8 feet, a little less. It's wonderful. So here we go. So you'll notice that this is the first window that we began with on the outside. The inside is also important. Though we created a good seal on the outside, we go ahead and do the inside as well, just to further protect from any water entering the unit. I'd like to talk a little bit more about the pressure applying you're seeing here. Keep that constant pressure as you're going along the joint. You're not trying to press the product back through. If you press too hard, it is quite possible that you will start to get bubbles on the outside of the unit because you're pressing it back through again. So you'll have to go outside and check and make sure that it is ripple free and nice, and because definitely you want it to look better on the outside than the inside. This will be getting covered up. Now that we've sealed both sides of the window, we're going to talk about cure time. Cure time for this product specifically is about an hour skin time and about 72 hours until fully cured. It's also important to keep in mind the relative temperature of the region in which you're in. We're in the middle of the desert, so temperature is hot right now. We've waited until sunset. That way we can apply the product and it has a full 8 hours to cure before it gets hot again. The 3M product specifically has a technical data sheet, and you're going to want to refer to that technical data sheet for ambient temperatures and application processes.